So I know the summer is just about coming to an end. The summer officially ends in late September, and that means that we will start to enter the autumnal weather, the sweater weather as they call it. So here we have a fragrance that has some citrusy influences, as if you couldn't tell by the name of the fragrance and the title down below, but it also has some darker ingredients in here like vetiver and incense, specifically frankincense, which is what I pick up on. This one by L'Orchestre Parfum is called Electro Limonade. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on this fragrance from 2020, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I tell you all about Electro Limonade by L'Orchestre Parfum, and I give you the notes, the performance, comparisons, longevity, all of that pertinent information that you'd want to know about a fragrance, I want to start things off by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon so you could be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or if you took something of value from today's episode. So here's a fragrance that was composed by Natalie Feistauer. She has done some incredible fragrances. And this one actually came out a couple years ago, if I'm remembering correctly, back in 2020. Now, of course, with a name like Electro Limonade, of course, lemonade, this one is a citrusy fragrance, right? So there's clementine orange from what I've read online. There's lemon, there's mint. On the back of the box, it also lists a few ingredients. It says that there is aldehydes, Italian bergamot, ginger, mint, Haitian vetiver. And it's funny because the first thing that I smelled when I sprayed it on was the ginger, I suppose, but also incense. And I do get a lot of frankincense because for me it has a very characteristic smell. I think this is a perfect fragrance for as we start to transition into slightly colder weather because it has the incense and the vetiver to really anchor the composition and give it some good longevity. I'm excited to give you my thoughts on the smell. Let's start things off with the presentation. So like I said before, right, in the opening of the fragrance, you are going to get this tangy, spicy ginger and citrus combination. Now, there is a lot of lemon in here. There's lemon, there's orange, there's bergamot. So you have a plethora of citrus. And I think it's really the lemon that takes center stage. And that's kind of what gives the fragrance its name, right? Lemonade or limonade. So it definitely opens up very citrusy, very zesty. On the back of the box, it says aldehydes. So it has a little bit of that bubbly personality, sparkling and effervescent and kind of reminiscent of a carbonated beverage almost. And of course, with a name like Electro Lemonade, it has this sort of electric, sort of outgoing, sort of gregarious personality about it. It's kind of hard to describe, but I feel like the zest of the lemon is compounded by that sparkling effervescence, and it just makes it that much brighter, right? It turns up the dial to 11. But another ingredient that I also picked up on is the incense. And it's funny because it doesn't say incense on the box, at least not in English. And when I looked it up online, I did read incense. So it validated what I was smelling. And this has olibanum. It has a lot of frankincense in it, and that's putting it mildly. If you smell this one, you know, frankincense for me has a lemony and pine smell. So it's a little green, it's a little balsamic, but it's also citrusy, and it also has that zesty warmth about it. And as soon as I smelled it, it reminded me of one of the Initio magnetic blends. I think it's either number 7 or 8. I don't remember, but the one that has ginger and frankincense in it. It smells very bright, very zesty, very citrusy. By the way, I think that Initio is being discontinued. You didn't hear it from me. And also, it kind of reminded me of Cardinal by Healy, but of course much more citrusy with that mint and the vetiver. So there are a lot of green ingredients, and you know, that brightness, you know, I mentioned the citrus, I mentioned the aldehydes, the mint too. The mint chimes in and creates that incredible brightness and that zesty personality. But it's funny because if you give this fragrance like 4 hours to dry down, the vetiver and the incense and all these other ingredients in the base are still going strong. And that's why I say this is a great fragrance for some of the colder months of the year, but not full-blown winter. So September, October, November, especially if you're wearing it indoors, this one is going to be a powerhouse. So I'm glad I picked it up when I did. I'm going to leave all of the links down below if you're interested in checking it out. If I manage to find a coupon code, I'm going to leave that down below as well. Thank you for watching, and let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. Now, first, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, this is a unique fragrance as far as I'm concerned. The way that they freshened up incense is really interesting to me, and it's a very appealing fragrance. It has this serene quality about it, but it also has this bright, lively, and gregarious quality about it as well. So it's a really nice contrast between those two personalities, to use that word again. Longevity is about 7 to 8 hours, so that was pretty good as far as I'm concerned, especially for a citrus-based fragrance. Of course, it goes without saying that it's not the citrus that you're going to smell after hour 3 or 4, but rather the vetiver and the incense. Projection was great for the first hour of application. It became an elbow's length scent at hour 4, became a skin scent at hour 7. In terms of the versatility, totally unisex. Anybody of any age can really appreciate this one. Great for those intermediary seasons as well as the summer. I would say every season except for the winter. And this is great for both formal and casual wear. In terms of the presentation, I think it's really cool the fact that they've connected sounds and music to fragrance. Go on their official website and check it out. I think the way that they went about presenting the fragrance is really unique, novel, and something that I haven't seen any other brand do before. So my final verdict is, if you are a fan of citrus fragrances, ones that are done in an organic manner, and if you're a fan of the note of frankincense, you have a really interesting pairing with Electro Limonade by l'Orchestre Parfum. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit the bell icon so you could be notified whenever I do upload videos to the channel, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, or if you learned something today, if I gave you the opportunity to learn about a new fragrance. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.